Blendbunny Cosmetics. Keep that shit going. I'm currently filming a big batch, so chances are high you've seen me in this makeup look already, but we are doing another ranking today, and I think I've accumulated a lot of Blendbunny Cosmetics palette. I don't have all of them, but since they are kind of like the new rising star at the makeup, I don't know, heaven, I thought let's do a ranking so you have a better time deciding what Blendbunny palette you definitely should get. And as far as I know, the primal, like the first rainbow one, that's going to be discontinued. She has it for like 50% off or so if you didn't have that and you're into rainbow palettes, maybe that's a good way to snatch it. I have a lot of colorful palettes, so I'm opting out of that. But out of the whole collection, I do have 6 Blendbunny palettes. If you live in Europe, it's quite hard to get them because when you are in Europe and you order stuff in the States or like anywhere outside EU, you have to pay duties, taxes, and if you live in Germany especially, you have to pay a fee to the German postal office just that they handle your package at the duties, which is just ridiculous. But we do have a nice site here in the EU that is called Monolith Shop, and they do carry a lot of indie brands for a nice price. Like they're a bit higher up in price, but you don't have to deal with duties, with fees, with taxes, with long shipping times, because usually they ship out in like a week. But if you like order after they have bigger releases, so they announce that every time on Instagram what new brands or restocks they will get, and it might take a couple more weeks. All of my Blendbunny Cosmetics palettes I got from Monolith Shop. I'm not working with them. I would love to, so if you see that, call me, write me, text me. But now let's go into the ranking. Number 6 is the Search palette, and I actually think this was the first one that I tried, and don't get me wrong, this is an artist's heaven. If you are in a creative makeup mood as I am every day, this is definitely a nice way to play with makeup. You have the whole collection of mattes and everything is color coordinated in columns, so that you can basically pair that very easy without thinking about it. Personally, I don't think that Search has the quality that we have now in the newer Blendbunny Cosmetic palette, so that's why Search is actually my least favorite out of them all. And I also think that these neons down here, they go on very patchy. I know pastel neons are hard to formulate, they are like very chalky, but these are kind of weird. Number 5 is a surprisingly nice neutral palette. It's the All Done Up. Again, you have the color coordinated columns, but this is a very muted neutral eyeshadow palette with very, very nice shimmers to it. I love this like one row and everything else is matte, and you can like cross combine everything. It just works out perfectly fine. I have actually nothing bad to say about this palette. Besides the fact, it's again not the same quality as in the newer ones, so that's why it is number 5, and I rate this higher than the Search because this has all in all a very consistent quality, where the Search has in those neons a little bit of a bad quality. Not bad, but not my favorite. And if you would ask me, I want to have a neutral palette from Blendbunny Cosmetics, and they have 2 basically. They have the All Done Up, and my personal number 4 that I like more than the All Done Up is the Dollhouse palette. I mean, first of all, you have 2 rows with metallics, 3 rows with mattes, and again, color coordinated columns. This is such a cool concept of a palette that if you were a makeup beginner and be like, I want to branch out into neutrals, but also a little bit like with this orange and the blue, and here the Harlequin shade and Chantilly, the green, and maybe with purples, like I want to have a palette that I could use every single day for neutral looks without thinking about them. The Dollhouse from Blendbunny Cosmetics is definitely it. And I'm not too sure about the like release dates, like when exactly this was released, but this has better quality than All Done Up and Search in my opinion. Now let's head into the top 3, and that is a big surprise because my 3rd favorite palette of Blendbunny Cosmetics is actually the newest one, the Sugar and Grunge. First of all, this is a 90s inspired palette that has just my heart. This is so beautiful, and I said it already on my Instagram where I filmed a tutorial with this palette. People are going nuts over that last row, and I even saw a friend of mine ripping them out and putting them in the right order so that every color was color coordinated, but it's on purpose. The 90s were rebellious punker times, so that's just a bold statement here. And why is this number 3? Basically because number 2 has better quality. If the quality was the same as number 2, this would have climbed on the 2nd place. But there is again something in those, even though they're a bit more muted, the muted pastels, they're a bit chalky. And I also think that like the darker shades, they go on quite a bit patchy, like patchier as for example in Dollhouse. So I don't know what it is with the quality sometimes. It's nothing that you cannot make work, but it's not as effortless as for example in the palette that I'm going to mention as my 2nd place. I just hold it up and I will let you decide how beautiful that is on a scale from 10 to 10. This is the lower palette. This is sea inspired or mermaid inspired, and oh my god. Everything in this palette is just picture perfect. Everything. Color story, quality, cross blendability. The only thing that I criticize is redundance of shades again, which I also have in Natasha Denona a lot of the times, because I feel like, for example, Jellyfish and Baited, or Lost at Sea and Catch Me, they have different undertones, yes, but on the eye, let's be honest, they cannot be completely same. Only if you would do a one shadow look only with this shade and only with this shade, then you see the difference. But other than that, you blend them together, you can't see the difference anymore. But everything else is so delicious. And now you're probably like, well, you're loving the palette so much. What the fuck is your like most favorite palette of Blendbunny? The Trove Quad. This was Blendbunny's first approach on multichromes. And I'm begging you, dear Blendbunny Cosmetics, keep that shit going. This is the most expensive palettes. I've never said anything about the prices, but for us in the EU, when you order them on Monolith, they range all around the 40 to maximum 50 euro. This is the most expensive with, I think I paid 70 for that. But even in the States, on the like brand's website, this is the most expensive one because as far as I saw from researchers and from other videos, multichromes are quite hard to formulate because of the special pigments that you use. But something in here she did so right, I can't. And I never swatch in these videos, but the Trove Quad is something you need to see swatched. So let me do that. So first of all, these are all the shades on my finger. I forgot the name, so you have to live with swatching and not me telling you the name. Number 3. And the last one, which is probably not so good to swatch. So this is Treasure Untold, Cove, Dive Deep, and Mermaid Tears. Everything went absolutely right in this quad, and this will forever probably be my favorite palette in my whole collection. And in all the ranking that I did, out of over 90 palettes, this has the highest number. Quality, color story, and excitement is nearly a 10 out of 10. And if you didn't know that, Blendbunny Cosmetics does more than eyeshadow palettes. She also has brushes. She now has lip oils and cheek palettes, and I skipped the blush palettes. I have enough blush, but I couldn't hold myself back, and I recently got the Noctilucent highlighter palette, so that's just an honorable mention. Look at these. I haven't even swatched them because they look so pretty. I am somebody who's totally wearing out a colorful multi-chrome highlight on a daily basis. I mean, I would wear this to the office, I don't fucking care. But if you love multi-chrome or duochrome highlighters, look into this palette. As I said, I have not touched it, so I cannot tell you anything about the quality, but just from looking at the colors, I'm pretty sure that this is awesome. And now it's your turn. Do you have Blendbunny Cosmetics? Do you like them? Do you have palettes? Which palettes is your favorite? Do you love the primer, the one that's now getting discontinued? Are they the goat for you? Because to me, they are like the uprising brand of this year. I said in another video that I think the brand of this year, or the indie brand of this year, were going to be Nomad Cosmetics, but I really have to rethink that, because I think it's actually Blendbunny. They are just killing it with every release. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.